Hi, Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to make 2 cards, and they're kind of well, they're not really the mirror image, but what we cut out of one, we kind of use in the other, if you get what I mean. So I am changing the colour up for this one, and I'm using the DSP sheet that's got the mittens on, and we're using blueberry bushel. Obviously this one's Coastal Cabana. So we're going to use the same style but do it in this different one. And so we are using my new favourite die set, the stitched nested labels, and I've already got them out ready. So we're using the biggest one that comes on that side, and the second biggest one on this side to cut the elements out. And we're also using the classic label punch, and we will be using the Snowman season and matching punch as well, and a bit of the little ribbon that goes with it. And I'm using the Happy Christmas sentiments that I've previously showed you how I made using my Stamparatus. Okay, so let's get on with it. So I have got 2 blueberry bushel card blanks, and they're my normal size, half size of A4, cut in half, folded in half. And then I've got my mats for each of the cards, and one smaller mat of the DSP, and we'll need some scraps for stamping the snowman as well. So what we're going to do, each of these backings, one's going to be cut with the biggest one and one's going to be cut with the smallest one. So the one that's cut with the smallest one will be the mat on here, and the one that's cut with the biggest one will be the mat on here. I did trim this one down as well. I probably won't do that on this one. And then what's cut out of there will be used on here, and what's cut out of here you can have for a tag. That's that. And then we're going to use this small one to cut the middle out of this, and then that will stick on that, and that will stick in the centre of that one. Get what I mean? So I'm going to get these cut out and come back to you. So there they are, cut out. So these 2 have been cut out with the bigger one, and this one, the smaller one. So we're going to have some fun remembering how I put it together. So we've got that on there like that, and we just want that. And then on this one we're going to layer it, that one on there, that one on there, and then that's what we're going to stamp on, and then that one we can use for something else. So we're going to get those glued down, and then we're going to do some stamping. So I've got my Tombow. I say on this original one I'd actually experimented. I was going to cut this out with the stitch rectangle, and I went a little bit wrong. I didn't want to waste it, and so I put snowflakes around the edges just so it wasn't plain. But this one I'm just going to do this way with the normal matting layer, which is only 1/8 of an inch, so we're just going to go with that. Obviously if you don't use standard A4, then you have to adjust my layers accordingly to your cardstock. That looks slightly unstraight. I'm going to glue the other one on and see which one looks straightest. I did use my magnetic platform and I did do it by eye and I thought I got it right, but that one does look a little bit squiff. So I'm going to see this one looks a bit better. Although it is a homemade card and I never worry too much, it's not exactly straight. But I do think that one possibly looks straighter. So we'll have that side as the one that's getting covered up. And we'll put this one on this side. So you've got a slightly bigger margin at the top and the bottom than you have on the sides. So I really like the idea of making two at the same time. One, you're stretching your DSP and your cardstock, and two, saving time. And if you're making lots and lots of Christmas cards, then that's a bit of a bonus. There we are. So that one needs stamping on, and we need to stamp on a scrap of Whisper White for the snowman. Let me get, this is my scrap pile. I think that might be enough. Let me check. Oh yes, that'll fit on there nicely. And then we're going to use the other snowman on there. The way I line this, so this is lined up to perfectly fit with the punch. And I realised I left my punch on the desk. So I punched it out of some cardstock, and I kind of laid the stamps on it so that I can stamp and then punch without any worries at all. Ooh! Butterfingers. There we go. Sometimes my hands don't work properly. Sometimes my brain don't work properly, to be fair. So there we go. So we'll stamp that one down on there. Lovely. Just going to put that on my chamois, and then we'll stamp this one. I love this snowman. There we go. And he's going to get stamped on here. I'll keep it straight. There we go, super. So I'll put them both on my chamois to get clean. And then we need to do some colouring. So I'm going to do a right old mixture of all my colouring bits. So I've got blends to do a bit of a snow, bit of an icy feel around the snowman and around the edges. And I just do dollops in these snow bits. And the same on this one. And then I've got the pumpkin pie, which I'm just going to use colour his nose. Could of course just use Stampin' Right markers for all of them. And then I'm going to use real red on the berries on the hat, and on the scarf. I do like colouring in, quite calming. And then I'm going to use my blueberry bouchon on the hat. I used Coastal Cabana on the other one, but I'm just sort of picking out the colour on the DSP and on the card blank, so it all coordinates nicely. And I just realised I need my shaded spruce pen for the holly on the hat. I'm just going to colour the band of the hat, and I'll just get the shaded spruce that I forgot, and then we'll colour the holly leaves. And then I use my black watercolour pencil, which I must have left on my desk from using it before. I did. And I just colour the end. If I had the black blend, I'd probably use the blends, but I don't have it, so use it that. And then I'm using my blender pen and drag that along. Colour the rest of the hat, and then get rid of the black from my blender pen. So that's all the colouring done. So we need to now punch these out. It's quite a small piece there. It needs to go over a bit. There we go. You've now got another template that you can use. Don't need the nose. So that's all ready for sticking on. So I'm going to stick this with some dimensionals. Just snip a bit of that off. Go there. And then we just need the sentiments. I did have some already done I think I might put my big shot on top of them. So that covers that aperture quite nicely. Trying to get it centered. Try again. Put it straight on the grid mat. Look at it straight, Jez. There we go. And then we want to stick our snowman. So I'm going to stick his hat on a bit. Put it at a little bit of an angle. And then I used the curly ribbon. So we have this curly ribbon that comes in the suite, and it's quite woolly, so it is a little bit like a woolly scarf. So I just wound it round and tied it, and then tied it again. In a square knot. And that sort of holds there nicely. I'm going to get a bit of a glue dot on it when it's in place. Now I'm just going to put a bit of glue on this. I put the scarf on first so that I knew where to place these. You can of course use, if you've got the embellishment kit, you can use some of the embellishments. There we go. And I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. Put that big corner bit up there so that it's on the hat and the snowman to hold that in place. And then up there, and we'll just put a little bit down there. Get that stuck in place. So I have really enjoyed creating with this little snowman for my little class that I did, and I had loads of other ideas in my head, so I thought, oh, I better get them down on video whilst I can still remember them, because I sometimes have great ideas and then I forget them. So stick him down, and then we'll get some glue dots and kind of put the scarf where we want the scarf. Can't see my glue dots. found some glue dots, but not the ones that are at my filming desk, so I'm quite sure where they are. So put that under there, hold that in place, and then the scarf is like blowing in the wind. You can trim it down if you want. So now we need the Happy Christmas sentiments, which I seem to have one. Oh no, that's in Very Vanilla. Okay, looks like we're stamping those. Thought they were already. Crash bang, wallopy woo. Right, so I'm going to do these in real red. So I need the real red ink, which I also haven't got, because I did think it was all ready. And then I need 2 plastic label punches punched out. That's lovely. And stick it in here. Ink that up. It's grand. And then we'll get the other one. I did show you how I set this up in a Facebook Live, and I've done it on a video as well. So if you're not sure, you can watch it back. There we go. Move that out the way. So on this one, I just stuck it straight down as it was. On this one, I'm layering it. So I've got a bit of blueberry bushel. So we'll cut that. And some real red. Which I now need to find. Helps if you look in the right, that's the Regals, isn't it? So there's a bit of real red there that I scored wrongly. And waste not, want not. So what I got to decide here is which way round I want it. Yeah, I want it that way. So we'll just cut these in half. And then we're just layering them up. So it just makes it pop a bit because it's going on a white background. That one's not going on a white background, so I think that one's all right as it is. My hands are now terribly sticky. Which is making this a little bit harder than it needs to be. So it is still only September, and I really need to count up how many cards I've got, because I've done loads of Christmas cards, especially doing a one sheet wonder as I did on Sunday. I don't know if you saw that, but I did a one sheet wonder on Sunday and got 8 Christmas cards out of one 6x6 sheet. So that means if you had a 12x12, you'd get 32. Now that is a bargain. Right, I've got a bit gluey on that. I'd like to rub it off. Right, and then I just need some little dimensionals on that one. Where are my mini dimensionals? There we are. So, just had my poker tool. There it is. Across there, and then just rub some of that glue off. I'll just stick these on in the same way, and then you can make a Christmas tag with the one that's left over, but I might save that for another video. So I quite like, we've got non-traditional colours as well, which I quite like. So there we have it. 2 cards using the resources for one, really. So, and I've changed the colours a bit. So let's put them side by side. So, not sure which I like best. I think they're all cute. So, hope you like that. All the measurements and the details and everything will be on my blog. I should be flashing up there. Please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to go and explore some more, please do. Links to my shop down below. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.